Okay, welcome everyone. Again, this is AJ Wustefeld with NinjaTrader Brokerage. It's my pleasure to welcome you to this webinar on Diversify Your Trading with Systems through NinjaTrader Brokerage. Before we get started today, we have a couple quick risk disclosures. Futures, foreign currency, and options trading contain substantial risk and is not for every investor. An investor could potentially lose all or more than the initial investment. Risk capital is money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security or lifestyle. Only risk capital should be used for trading, and only those with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Full risk disclosure can be found at ninjatrader.com/risk. Also, CFTC Rule 4.41. Hypothetical or simulated performance results have certain limitations. Unlike an actual performance record, simulated results do not represent actual trading. Also, since the trades have not been executed, the results may have under or overcompensated for the impact, if any, of certain market factors such as lack of liquidity. Simulated trading programs in general are also subject to the fact that they are designed with the benefit of hindsight. No representation is being made that any account will or is likely to achieve profit or losses similar to those shown. Mary and everyone else, yes, there will be a copy of the presentation sent out after they format it when we're done. It'll probably go out tomorrow or Friday at the latest. So just keep an eye on your emails and you'll get it shortly. So most of you are already aware of what an automated trading system is, what their advantages are, and have probably subscribed to or ran them yourself in some capacity. Today we're going to take a look at the iSystems platform for automated trading systems in depth and get into all the various ways you can search and find a trading system or systems that are right for you. Near the end of the webinar, I'll take some time for Q&A. You can type your questions into the room and I'll do my best to answer them all then. Okay, you should all see ninjatrader.isystems.com here. This is the platform. It's a database of automated trading systems. Everything is hosted on the back-end servers. Nothing is required to be downloaded or set up locally on your computer. All the trading does take place in the cloud, co-located with our data provider, who is CQG, many of you are familiar with. So this main page here, Explore Systems, this is a list of all the systems that are currently available. You'll see right now there are over 1,500 of them, which is quite a daunting list. So there's some tools built into the platform to help you, navigate through here and find the systems that might be a good fit for you. First off, this whole thing is customizable. You'll see there's these different columns listed here. This is customizable. You can customize the table by clicking the drop down here. You can check off any additional columns that you want displayed, uncheck any that you don't want displayed if you don't think something is important, and then that will go ahead and update. So this is how I have mine laid out here. You'll see there's a lot of information provided just in this snapshot here. To find a system, there's a couple different things you can do to get started. Number one, up here at the top, they do have some top 10 lists built in. People always ask me about, top performers. Here's a resource you can use to find them. We'll click on this page. We'll give it a second to load. And you'll see there's various different lists, starting off with the top 10 for the current session today. Scroll down, you'll see the previous session yesterday, the top 10 performers for the past month, also the past year, and since inception, the furthest back that any of them go is 2001. Now the default setting for this is to display it based on P&L, which can be a little misleading. If there's two systems on here that both made $1,000 today, for example, but one of them has a suggested funding amount of $10,000 and the other one has a suggested capital amount of $100,000, those are very different returns, 1% versus 10%. So we can change that by going here and switching this from net results down to of the suggested capital, and that will change it all to percentage base, so you can make a more relative comparison. And you'll see everything updates with the new information there. So this is a good place when you're first getting on the platform, starting to look for systems, some ideas of what might be a good fit for you. You can check these out here, see what the current best performers are. Another thing, we'll go back to the Explore Systems page. Next to Customize Table, you'll see we also have the ability to filter the systems. You can apply filters for custom criteria for things that might be important to you. We'll go ahead and do a couple examples just to show everyone how it works. So we click the drop down here. You'll see there's some quick filters already programmed in. You can just click on them. It'll automatically apply them. You'll see the list shortens, 389 systems that meet the criteria for this particular filter. But we can go in and put in some advanced filters for some custom criteria. Just clear out the ones that we put in here. Couple examples, things that are always important to look. If you have an idea of how much you're looking to invest in automated trading systems, simple starting point is to put in a filter by the suggested capital. Let's say you're interested in looking for systems up to 25,000 as an example. We just put 25,000 here in this second box, and we click Add, and it will apply that filter. Now you can see there's 353 systems available that have suggested capital of $25,000 or less. Excuse me. Also, let's just say if you're going to, commit your money to an automated trading system, you have a certain, minimum return threshold that you would expect to see. We can go in and put in filters for the ROI, return on investment. And let's just keep the bar low and say, as an example, you would want something that has at least produced a 20% ROI over the history of its track record. We can edit this first box here. We'll put in 20. It goes up to the current max. I don't know if you want to put a limit, you can, but I usually leave the top open-ended. Click Add. It will apply that filter as well. And let's just say, besides the back tests, which are always available, you want to see live trading results. Let's just say, for example, you want to see at least 4 months of live trading. We can put in a filter for live since, and we can go back 4 months here. Today's the 5th, so we'll go back to July 5th. Add the filter. Click OK, and you can see just by putting in those few filters, we've narrowed the list down to 88 different systems. Obviously, there's 25 or 30 different categories available in here that you can apply filters for. You can get very specific if you so choose to. To find something that is kind of custom to your criteria or your expectations. Now, what you can also do here, once you've applied those filters, any of these columns are sortable. So, for example, if you want to find ones with the highest returns, you can click on Annual ROI, the column header here, and it will then sort them from highest to lowest. If you're, let's say, for example, someone who's more focused on risk, and you want to find those with the lowest drawdowns, again, find the column for worst drawdown, click on the header, and it will sort them from lowest to highest. And again, you can do this for any of these columns. If you wanted to go suggested capital, if you wanted to sort by the smallest suggested capital, you can do so here. So let's just say you've done some homework, you've applied some filters, you've narrowed down the list, and you've got a nice short list of systems that you want to explore further. You can bring up a more detailed performance report for any of these systems just by clicking on the name of the system from the list. So let's just use this first one here as an example. If we click on this one, give it a second to load, brings up the performance report. You'll see this is the system we saw, Swing 50 Plus Mini DAX FDXM. It tells you who the developer is, what the product that it trades is. This one trades the Mini DAX futures. You are in quotations because this is a Eurex product. It does trade in euros, not US dollars. It tells you the system type, whether it is a swing trading system or if it is intraday only. And then also the cost. You do pay the developer of the system a monthly cost. It'll vary from one developer to the next. They each set their own pricing, but it'll be clearly listed here when you're reviewing the systems. It'll tell you what you're going to be paying if you decide to use it. Something important to keep in mind is that all the P&L data, the tables, the equity curve, this is all net performance. They have already taken out the monthly license cost and the commissions on the trades. Commission per trade is also listed here, so you could see most of them fall in the range of $750 to $1250 all in per contract. But that has all been accounted for in the performance tab. So this is net performance. So if we go over here to look at performance, you'll see it tells you the total P&L since the inception is all the way back as far as the back test goes up to the current date. What the tracked P&L is. So tracked being different in that this is similar to a forward test. It excludes the back test. So it's only since they've been running the system in real time on live market data and tracking the fills in a simulated or hypothetical account. Also does give you live performance for the portion of the track record that has actually been traded live by at least one customer. Since all of these systems do run on the back-end servers, all the fills can be tracked, the fills from customer accounts, and we can use those fills to generate actual live P&L numbers. And you'll see those listed here. On this equity curve here, as well as down in the P&L tables, you'll see the background is color-coded. And here's the little key that shows you what that means. So anything in the white background is the backtest. When the system is first created, the developer provides the codes to iSystem. They upload it to the server and lock it down. They then run an independent backtest, and they load those results here. So you can see this one sometime in April 2018. The system was provided, loaded to the server. They ran a backtest all the way through the beginning of 2016. At that same point in time, they also begin running it live every day in real time, again on live market data, and tracking the performance. You'll see the key, any of these cells that are in tan, is track performance. Basically like a forward test, the system is running on live market data and generating signals, but the fills are done in a sim account, but they do make an adjustment for expected slippage. They have a pretty unique way for tracking what expected slippage would be and then applying it to the fills. So it should be pretty accurate. And then once at least one customer begins trading the system in their live brokerage account, you'll see there are live results available. Anything that has the green background is actual live trading results. And you'll see that here on the equity curve too. The background shading is now green. So there's the P&L information. It also tells you what the worst drawdown is. It tells you the suggested and required capital. Required capital being the absolute minimum amount that must be maintained in the account to keep this particular system active. If at any time you did fall below the required capital, at the end of the session, the system would automatically be deactivated. And then suggested capital is the amount that would be suggested you actually consider starting with, which takes into account the past performance of the system. It looks at the history, all the drawdowns, the volatility of the returns and such, and they give you a suggested account capital amount that's calculated based on those inputs. You'll see this little icon here next to any of these categories. If you're unsure what anything is, you can click on the icon and it'll bring up a description. You'll see here, the formula for suggested capital versus what the required capital is, and so on. Now, this is the equity curve or P&L graph, there's a couple other options. You can click here for a scatter plot of the session returns. So day by day returns with losing days obviously posted in red below, profitable or winning days posted above in green for all terms, the backtest, the tracked, and the live trading. They also have this nice little drawdown graph here, which shows you the history of all the drawdowns, so you can take a look at the depth and duration, also the frequency, to get an idea of what the risk is for any particular system and what you should expect from it going forward. Past performance is never indicative of future results, but we don't have anything else to go on, so we need to use this as a gauge for what the risk of the system could potentially be. Down below the graphs, we have some statistics. Analyze sessions tells you the number of sessions that the system has been analyzed over for the duration of the track record. If there's an intraday system that's making multiple trades per day versus, let's say, a swing trading system that might only be making a few trades per month, they both could have 3-year track records, but you're going to have a significantly different number of actual trades or data points, to compare. So besides looking at the duration of the back test and tracked and live results here, this track record is 4 years. You also can take a look at the number of sessions that were analyzed over that to get more information. Tells you the total P&L that we saw up here, your annual ROI, profit factor, again the commission that we mentioned, winning session percentage, and the current run-up since the previous drawdown low. It's best session, worst session, winning session average, a lot of other things, some ratios for you to analyze, sharp and shortino. Over here in this column, a lot of factors that focus on risk, which is very important. It tells you the worst drawdown, which we also saw up here. It tells you if it is currently in a drawdown and how much of a drawdown that is and when that drawdown began. Tells you what the worst one-day session was for the system. Again, your losing session average compared to the winning session average. Slippage per side, on average, typically what they see for this system. And then, these additional ratios. We'll go down here. We have the monthly P&L tables. It shows you month-by-month performance. You can get a more detailed look into any month just by clicking on it. It'll bring up session returns for that particular month. You can see right out the gate, day 1, they take out the license cost. Again, it's all net performance, so that's good to know that that's already been adjusted for. Tells you here the total P&L for the year, which is a sum, obviously, of all these. This is all based on trading 1 unit of the system. So regardless of how much capital you start with, this calculation, all these calculations are based on trading 1 unit of the system. Most systems equate to trading 1 contract. If you're doing 1 unit, there are some systems that can go up to 3 contracts per unit. When you're activating a new system, it'll tell you at that point what the max position size for that system is. Most of them 1, but it can potentially go up to 3. Total percentage is based on trading 1 unit with the suggested capital. So this one, as an example, they're suggesting 15,000. You don't necessarily need 15,000 to get started, but that's what they're suggesting. And you'll see if you were trading 1 unit for the year, it was $3,567 based on a $15,000 starting balance. That's a 23.8% return. They also give you access to the full trade logs for the system. You can click here right next to the monthly P&L tables to bring up the trade logs. You'll see all the date and timestamps. Tells you what the order type was, what the volume was, and also the resulting position after the fill. So example here, it's 0, you're flat. We buy 1 and we're now long 1, and then later sell 1 to be flat again. Tells you the hypothetical fill price that the system expected, as well as the average actual fill price based on the average of all the fills from all customers trading the system live. And it even gives you the best and worst fill, so you can kind of see how much of an effect slippage is having on any particular system. As an example here, you see sometimes there's no slippage, sometimes there's negative slippage, and sometimes there's even positive slippage. Next to the trade logs, we can click here for the session logs, showing you day-by-day performance, the volume traded, your resulting end-of-day position, closing price for that particular contract that the system is trading, along with your hypothetical P&L in points, and also what that equates to in dollars here. Now, it's one thing that's nice to note, some of you might find this very beneficial, is that not only the session logs, but also the trade logs are exportable to Excel. If you go down here to the little Excel icon, you can click on there to export the data to Excel. If you want to do some further analysis, take a deeper dive into the information, you can certainly do so by manipulating the data yourself that way through Excel. If we go back up to the top here, you'll see there is a timeline option for the performance. The default setting is all history, meaning since the beginning of the backtest all the way through to the current date. But this is something you can custom set. There's a number of different defaults in there. For example, if you want to just show the performance since they've been tracking it live in real time, you can click on that option. Did we freeze? I'll try refreshing this real quick. Okay, well that's not working right now. Okay, here we go. All right, so for example, you can put in, I did just a custom range as an example. I put in 5/10/2018 through 11/5/2019, which was showing as the tracked period, and you can see everything updated. All your graphs update. As well as all the statistics and the P&L table. Same thing with the trade and session logs. They would all update as well. For some reason, the default quick filters are not working, tracked and live. Normally they do. This is actually the first time I've ever seen that not work. I'm not sure what's going on there, but at least the specific range worked as an example so you could see what the possibilities are there. Sorry about that. I'll be reaching out to iSystems after this webinar to see if they have any insight on what's going on. So let's just say, as example, you've done your research, you've gone through and applied your filters, you've sorted the columns, you have a nice short list of systems, you've reviewed the performance in detail, and you have a system that you want to get started with. Assuming your brokerage account is already set up, you would be able to log in, come to this page, and let's see, this is one that a lot of people have asked me about recently. So let's just say you've done your analysis and this is the system you want to get started with. Over here to the right, there's this little lock icon. You can click there to either view the performance, go back to the performance page, or buy the license. Now, if you go to the performance page, you can also buy the license and activate the system from here as well. You'll see the lock icon is also right here. We can click on it, select buy a license, And then here's your license options. Again, it tells you what the cost is per month. You choose the number of units that you want to subscribe to. It's a monthly payment. It'll confirm your brokerage account number here, and then we can click subscribe now. Here's all the details to confirm: the name of the system, number of units, the cost, your account. So you want to go ahead and review all the terms and conditions. Check the box to accept them, and click the red accept button, and it will purchase the license. You can see here we've purchased a license to use this system, valid until the end of the month for 1 unit. So now that we have the license, we want to go ahead, if we're ready to start trading, and activate the system. Click Activate System. Again, it'll bring up all the details. System name, system type. This one is intraday, so it will have all trades flat by the end of the day. It does not carry anything through the close on the S&P 500 mini futures. Again, here's where it tells you what the max open position size is. For this one, the max position size is 1. It tells you if the system is currently in a position or not. We're flat here. Here's our account. It lets you know the required margin. This is, again, the required capital, the absolute minimum that must be maintained to run the system. We chose a multiplier of 1, and we're going to choose immediate activation. If you did have a system that was in a position when you activated it, it'll give you some additional options here, whether you want to join the current position and get in right away, if you want to wait until the next trade, or maybe get in the current trade, but only if it can get you a better price than what the actual system entered in. But since this one is flat, our option is immediate activation. Again, review the terms and conditions, check the box to accept, and go ahead and activate the system. So here we go. It was processed. We're activated, trading 1 unit. We'll click OK, and our My Systems page will update. So this is the one section of iSystems that you do need to have a brokerage account set up on the platform to get access to, is the My Systems page. Here on the Systems tab, it will display all of these systems that you currently have running in the account. You can see we just added the mini S&P and Korma stop take profit intraday. Little green light here indicating that it is currently active and running. Next time this system comes up with a trade signal, we will be in. Our position will update. It will show any additional orders working here. That'll confirm the last trade price. Show our P&L in points, what the last traded price is, and then also show us our P&L for the day, as long as the accumulated total since we've been running the system live. So it breaks down each market separately and each system that you have trading in that particular market separately. And then at the bottom, you have a summary for the account, not only your total P&L for the day, but also your accumulated total for all of the systems combined since you started running them. Now, if for any reason we wanted to make changes or turn the system off, we can do so right from this page. Let's say, for example, we're in this one that we just turned on, and it's in a long position, and you're looking at a chart on your NinjaTrader platform, and you see something that would indicate that the S&P is coming up on heavy resistance, and the system is long. So you want to go ahead and close the position to lock in those profits because you feel the market is going to retrace. You can easily do so with a few clicks of the mouse. You just come over here, the little icon on the right, and you would click Stop Strategy. The deactivation confirmation window comes up. It's flat, so we can stop immediately. Again, if it was in a position, it would give you some additional options here, whether you want to stop immediately or let the current trade play out following the system, but then stopping. But we're going to stop immediately for this example. So read the terms and conditions, check here, and deactivate. Now, if this was in a position and we choose stop immediately, it will exit that open position right away. So you can see we've been stopped. Okay. This page will update again, and that system is no longer displaying because it is no longer running on our account. From here, you can also do some other things. For example, if you are currently trading 1 unit and you want to increase the size of your trades, you can change the multiplier. First, you would have to extend the license, which we can't do because it's after 4 o'clock Central, so it's after the close. But normally you would go there, you would click Extend License. After you've extended the license, oh, here you go. After we've extended the license, then we can go back in and change our multiplier to 2 or 3 or however many units that you did license. Some other options up here, you do have a lot of transparency into the account. Obviously, you can see everything here. There's also a tab where you can review all your fills for the day, timestamps and everything. You can review all your working orders. The performance tab here, if you do have an actual account and you, as I showed, you have the ability to start and stop the systems, you can turn them on and turn them off. It will actually track the difference in your performance trading the systems by turning them on and off versus what the performance would have been if you just let the system play out and trade itself. There's a chart that would show at the top listing the differences, as well as a nice graph at the bottom that shows the 2 different equity curves. So you can compare and contrast and see if you overriding the system is actually helping your performance or hurting your performance. And then there's another tab here on the right, last, that shows you all your active licenses that you currently have running. And there's also at the bottom a list of all the developers. So this is where you would be spending the most of your time here. Again, everything runs server-side, co-located. You don't need to be logged on. Once you log in and activate a system, it runs fully automated. You can turn off your computer, walk away, and not come back for a month, and the system would just be running in the background, and you can come in and check your performance whenever you're ready. Some people like to be hands-off. Some people like to be more hands-on and watch. And this is why this page comes in handy, because everything on here does update in real time as prices change, as trades are executed, as things are updated. So this is probably a good time for me to stop and tackle some of the questions. So let me go back in here so I can take a look. Yeah, so as I mentioned, Mary, the recording will be sent out sometime tomorrow or Friday after it's been edited and formatted. So just keep an eye on your emails. You'll get it soon. Voice issues. Little late now. Sorry about that, Sam. I do have a cold. That might be it. But my volume indicators are showing everything's okay. I'm not sure what your issue could have been. Scrolling laggy and jaunted. It is streaming, so that could be an issue if you're on Wi-Fi, especially. We'll again get the recording out. Hopefully that's better for you. Carlos, can we test on demo mode, and are these performances audited? No, unfortunately, there is not a demo environment available for iSystems. iSystems was built for live trading only. Now, if you have some systems in mind that you're interested in, but you want to follow along for a while, you don't need a demo account to do so. You can just come back daily and check the performance reports that I showed you. They don't update in real time, but they do update at the end of the day, every day after the market reopens. All the fills from that day's trades are uploaded to the servers. All the performance information updates, the equity curves, the trade logs, all the performance calculations, the statistics, everything. So you can just check back every day and kind of review what those systems have been doing, and then when you decide, you've had enough and you're ready to get started, you've reviewed and you're confident in the system, you can then go ahead and add them in your live brokerage account at that point. David H., does this work with Top Step and OneUp? Unfortunately, no, it does not. It is not compatible with either of those. You would need to open an account and fund it with your own money to utilize the platform. Robert M., what is the multiplier? The multiplier is the number of units of the system that you are trading. Again, all the performance figures are based on trading 1 unit. If you have a larger account and you want to trade, multiple units, you can certainly do so just by licensing those additional units and then changing your multiplier to, however many units that you want it to be. Looks like all the questions. Any other last questions here? I'll give you a couple seconds to type them in. David, again, no, unfortunately, it does not work with Top Step Trader or One-Up Trader. You cannot use a prop account for this. You would need to open an account and utilize your own funds. Carlos, great question. What is the procedure to open the account? Let's go to the next slide and we'll talk about how to get started. If you currently have a NinjaTrader brokerage account, you will need to open another account to trade your systems. This is easily accomplished by completing a simple additional account request form. It does not require a new application if you already have an active account with us. If you don't have an account with NinjaTrader brokerage, then it is the standard new account opening process. You can get started by completing the online application for one of our clearing partners. You'll see we work with both Phillip Capital and Dorman Trading. You go to ninjatrader.com /open account. Select systems for the account type, which you'll see right here, and then choose your FCM. Systems trading is supported on all account types, including IRA accounts, corporate accounts, LLC, trust, in addition to your standard individual and joint accounts, of course. Once the application is complete and the account is approved, you simply fund your account, log in from ninjatrader.isystems.com, and then select the systems you want to run and go through the process we just outlined to activate them. All the trades are then executed automatically through your NinjaTrader brokerage account without requiring any additional work from you. I guess if anyone else has any further questions or interest in getting started, reach out to me directly. I'm always happy to help. Would love to have a conversation, get an idea of your your investment background, your trading objectives, and help you review some systems. Here's my contact information. My direct line, 312-262-1229. My email, aj.westefeld@ninjatrader.com. And then again, there is the website to access the iSystems platform. Again, to review the systems and check performance, you do not need to have an account. You do not need to be logged in. You can just do that through the website. You would only then, like I mentioned, need to log in an account to actually access that last My Systems page that we showed. Well, I guess I would like to go ahead and thank everyone for joining the webinar today. I know everyone's busy, and we certainly appreciate your time and attention here. It's pretty clear there are many advantages and opportunities to trading systems, and hopefully I'll be hearing from many of you soon. Thanks again, and take care. Oh, Carlos, last question. Go ahead. Would it work with your offshore company? It could potentially. It depends on where the company is set up, what country. I would say go ahead and email me directly, and we can get into that in a little more detail if you wanna let me know. I'd be happy to review that with you. All right. Well, thanks again, everyone. Again, feel free to reach out to me. Any questions, interest, I'm always happy to help. I'd be happy to jump on a call if anyone wants to discuss further. My name again, AJ Westefeld with NinjaTrader Brokerage. Thank you, and have a great evening.